Mogul Motivation, empowering and inspiring entrepreneurs and dream chasers worldwide, 1 week at a time. Presented by True Stories Media. And I am your host, Antoine Twiz Taylor.
Hello everybody, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Mogul Motivation. If this is your first time listening, please go ahead and subscribe on whatever platform you're listening to it on right now, whether it be Apple, Spotify, YouTube, etc. Happy New Year. It's January 1st, 2025, and Mogul Motivation, we are officially over 480 episodes. 9 years in. I started this podcast January 2016, and now here we are, January 2025, and it's just such a blessing to make it to a new day, a new year, to continue to go after our goals. We have another opportunity to do that. And if you've been a faithful listener to this podcast, you would notice something that last week, Christmas Day 2024, was the first Wednesday that I did not release an episode on this podcast since 2016. And the reason for that is I had to rest, right? I enjoy pumping out these episodes every week to uplift all of you, but also to uplift myself. But God told me I had to just relax. I had to relax and I just had to rest. In fact, the entire month of December, outside of the first weekend, I was pretty much idle. Business, was just, in hibernation mode. And I just take it as God telling me that I had to sit down because I'm always on the go. I'm always trying to figure out what I need to do next. And, just not doing anything, it was very uncomfortable for me because it was new territory. But I had to get used to that new territory. And in the midst of me not doing anything, I continued to labor on my work in progress, my next novel, The Sci-Fi Department. And I was blessed to reach 60,000 words in that manuscript. My target goal is 90,000. It might be a little bit over, but that's okay. And so in the midst of resting, you're still going to have creative overflow in another area, and I want you to understand that you don't have to be on the go all the time. You're not a machine. As for me, I'm a creature of habit, and my habit was every Wednesday I got to do an episode for Mogul Motivation. But sometimes you have to break old habits, even if they benefited you in that season, so you can create better habits for the next chapter in your life. And that's what I'm doing. 2025, I might not release an episode of Mogul Motivation every single week. It might be bi-weekly, who knows? But just know that Mogul Motivation is not going anywhere. It's going to continue to evolve, but things will be changing this year and beyond. And that's what I want to talk about on this episode, this first episode of 2025. We are pursuing happiness. We are pursuing our goals, right? That's the whole point of being an entrepreneur, a dream chaser, all of that. We're pursuing something. And I want you to understand that the same thing that you are desiring, it also desires you. It wants you to have it. The only thing that's blocking us from obtaining what we truly want in this life is fear and doubt. That's the only thing. Nothing else is stopping us. So I want to talk about the pursuit paradox, because as we are pursuing our goals are pursuing us. Imagine two people in an open field running towards each other's arms to embrace each other. You got the visual in your head? That's you, and that's whatever you are pursuing, whether it may be a milestone in your business, whether it may be a car, whether it may be a home, whatever it may be. It might be weight loss, whatever that goal may be, it is also running towards you. But here is the interesting thing about it. It only moves as fast or as slow as you move. You see, you move slow when you're doubting yourself. You move slow when you're fearful, right? You don't move at all when you're overthinking and when you're in your head and you feel you're stuck in the mud. That was me throughout the holiday season. And that's why I believe God told me I had to rest in the month of December. I had to rest because I was stuck in the mud. But in the midst of that resting, I continued to pursue my creative endeavors with my novel, and it came to me just as fast as I was running to it. Do you understand? So as fast as you move is as fast as whatever goal you want is moving towards you. If you're not moving at all, that goal ain't gonna move. If you are moving slow, that goal is gonna move slow. But if you're running with haste towards that goal is gonna run with haste towards you. And I'm not talking literal fashion. I'm talking all about an energy fashion. I'm talking about your energy, your desire for it. You have to truly want it. You can't allow fear, you can't allow doubt to pollute your mind in 2025. You have to pursue it with all enthusiasm that God put into your spirit, because it is yours by divine right. So this year, I want you to pursue what you've been stalling on. I want you to go after it with no fear. I want you to go after it with no doubt, even if it creeps up in your head, because there will be moments where it's going to try to creep up into your head. Discard it. Do not listen to it. Disregard and continue to move forward, and watch what I tell you. What you want is going to come to you faster than what you think. Let me give you some context right now. My first two novels, Board Games 1 and 2 respectively, the word count for both of those books respectively never eclipsed 60,000 words. Now granted, the novel I'm working on now is a much more complex story, but nonetheless, it took me 3 years to write both of those novels, Board Games 1 and 2 respectively. It took me 3 years to write 55,000+ words. It's taken me 3 months to write 60,000 words. It's the energy, it's the pursuit that I'm moving towards that's bringing it closer to fruition and into a real reality. Imagine reality in 2025, ladies and gentlemen, but not only imagine that reality, run with haste towards whatever you desire. So that's my message on this day, New Year's Day, 2025. Pursue it. It's a pursuit paradox. If you ain't moving, it ain't gonna move. If you are moving slow, it's gonna move slow. But if you are moving fast, it's gonna come to you fast. And fast is all about your energy and your enthusiasm for it. So let's continue to work. Let's continue to imagine reality. Do not allow fear or doubt to be an obstacle this year, this month, this season. Break those old habits, even if those habits benefited you at one point in your life, and start to create new habits that are more efficient for you and beneficial in the long term. So if this podcast has blessed you in any way, shape, or form, ask for 2 things as always. Number 1, please leave a 5-star review. And number 2, pass it to a friend who may benefit from it as well. Have a great day, everybody. I'll talk to you next week.